Hello and welcome back to Balanced Psychologies. As always, I hope that you're doing really well. So in today's video, we're talking about why the narcissist doesn't hoover you or doesn't hoover you back. So this question comes from one of my clients, and I've been working with him on why the narcissist didn't hoover him back, and he doesn't understand. And I guess for some of us who haven't been hoovered, because I guess you hear a lot of it, you hear about it, you know, within the cycle of narcissistic abuse and what to expect after the narcissist leaves, what's going to happen, why it's going to happen, and hoover is one of the things that a narcissist is most likely to do. But when this doesn't happen, this can leave you a little bit confused and leave you scratching your head. So this is what I'm going to be talking about, why they don't tend to hoover. And I guess everybody says to you, well, you should be lucky that they didn't hoover you. But if you're trying to process and understand what happened to you, if they're not hoovering, which is a normal part of the discard and re-idealization stage, this can be very confusing. And this is when the question comes up, are they actually a narcissist? Was I in a narcissistic relationship? And this can cause more trauma and more damage. So I'm going to be talking about why the narcissist didn't hoover you. It doesn't mean that you weren't with a narcissist, but we're going to go into this in the video. Just because the narcissist didn't hoover you doesn't mean that you weren't with a narcissist in the first place. There's many reasons why the narcissist doesn't go on to hoover, and I'm going to be looking at them in the video. I want you to understand that this isn't a normal part of the discard, but it does happen. And the reason why it does happen is because it's either because they have moved on and they're with new supply, so their attention is taken up by the new supply. You are not going to be giving them any fuel. It might mean that you are too broken, you're too upset, you don't have the energy that you once did. It could be that they have really just grown bored of you at this moment. Remember, nothing stays the same with a narcissistic individual. It doesn't stay the same throughout, because they literally go through these cycles over a certain period of time, which you probably have grown accustomed to. It's probably that you've noticed this happening, all right? So they are spending their time and energy on this new supply. It could also mean that you have figured them out. You have figured out that they are narcissistic, and you understand that there is maladaptive or dysfunctional behaviors. So they're not going to try and hoover you when they know that you know. This would be really embarrassing, and it would cause narcissistic injury. The third one is that you've just simply moved on and you're stronger. And at this moment, they feel like it's not worth their while to hoover you back. Because if there is a rejection, all right, or they figured out that there is going to be some sort of a rejection, then they won't try. Remember, they have fragile egos. They're not going to do something that is going to put them in a disadvantage. They are always going to make sure that they win in every single situation. So if they are going to attempt to hoover you and you reject them, oh boy, this is going to cause narcissistic injury, so they're not going to do that at all. But then you've got to ask yourself the question, why are you expecting this hoover? And you've got to be really honest with yourself. What does this hoover mean for you? So there's a variety of reasons why you might want the hoover to happen. You want that formal relationship to kind of reignite or begin again, or you're still caught up in the emotional sea of believing that things can be put right somehow, that maybe you could have done something different, or you could have said something different that would have caused the outcome of the relationship to be different. But you see, the problem is here that this is really dangerous thinking, because it doesn't matter what you would have said, what you would have done, if you would have dressed differently, or if you've gone somewhere differently or done something differently, this wouldn't have changed the outcome of what had happened. And I know that we circle through this in our mind. We feel like this, you know, you could have done something, because this is the part of you trying to understand why this was the ending of the relationship. And so what you're doing here is you are lowering your energy. You're willingly submitting to this negative, to this abusive, toxic relationship, because you're struggling to understand. And by the narcissist not hoovering you, it's making you feel unworthy. It's making you feel like you're not good enough. So it's having a negative effect on you. And this is why this is done. This is why the silent treatment or the disappearing act is done. It's because it's to leave you without any answers. There's no validation. You struggle to try and understand exactly what has happened. So this is why you're toying with the idea that maybe they could come back, maybe I could change the outcome of the relationship. But this is really dangerous thinking. And I feel like if you are someone who is in this position and someone who is going through this, I would say perhaps maybe talk to a clinical professional or somebody that would understand, because I think that this idea or these kind of thoughts might really be damaging you. It might be that you resist the Hoover, all right? Maybe that you let them know that you are not to be messed around with, like you know what's going on. So your Hoover attempts are not going to change. And so this is a kind of a statement of intent. It shows the narcissist that actually, I don't want to be subjected to this abusive behavior anymore. Another reason why you are expecting this Hoover is to tell the narcissist that I know who you are and I know what you are doing. So this could be another reason why there might be some kind of contact or communication. It could also mean that, it also means that there is an empowerment on your part. So it makes you feel important and in control of this situation. So you see, all of these reasons are really valid reasons why you would want to have some sort of contact with the narcissist, or why you want them to contact you. And of course, this is all about validation and making you feel good about yourself. And it can be really damaging when they don't reach out, when they don't hoover you. It leaves you scratching your head trying to understand why this person who has been so awful, so nasty, made you feel like you are absolutely worthless, why they are not reaching out to you. Why have they not realized that what they have done to you is absolutely awful? The Hoover is a complex scenario. This is all about the narcissist gaining some sort of supply and also some sort of control over a situation. Now, I've written about this numerously, like narcissists don't really ever forget their exes. And this is all about the attachment disorder. When they attach onto you, even though they don't treat you very well, they still want to have some sort of contact. They want to be able to check up on you. They want to be, watching you. And that's what they do. I've got a great video all about this, why the narcissist is still watching. I'm going to link it up here. So this is all about the narcissist still having some sort of gateway to you. This is why when they left, they gave you no explanation. They never actually told you in so many terms that the relationship is actually over. So it makes it easier for them to come back. The reason why they come back is because they want to draw fuel from you. They want to have some sort of attention or some sort of validation from you. It's not so easy to get new sources of supply. This is why perhaps in some cases when they are in a relationship with you, they might be talking to others. And this is why they have a lot of exes, because they do eventually go back to them, because they need that fuel. They need to have that validation. Finding somebody new to be able to believe the lie is not as easy as you think. So if you are part of the club, when the narcissist comes back and kind of communicates with you in the meantime, serves the narcissist really well, because then they can go back to their exes and just recycle them. This isn't about a real relationship. It doesn't mean that they are going to be happy with their exes, that they've suddenly realized that they are fallen in love with them again. This is all about the attachment disorder. And I talk about this so much in the videos. They want to go back because simply it means that they are going to feel validated from another person. They're going to make themselves feel good enough. And that's why they go back to exes. That's why they reach out. That's why they still stay in contact. Being validated is like the most important thing to a narcissist. This is why they have so many partners, so many exes. This is why they keep in contact with them. And for a variety of reasons, the narcissist hasn't contacted you. And I'm going to go into why they haven't hoovered you. The first thing I would say is maybe they have tried to reach out. Maybe they have tried to hoover you, but maybe you haven't realized that they have. It might have been a mini hoover. It could be that the hoover wasn't actually from the narcissist, or it could have been by someone that they know, or by someone by proxy. You know, they might not do the dirty work themselves. They might get somebody else to get in contact with you, or they might actually be watching you and reporting back to the narcissist. So this is another thing that you need to take into consideration, even if it's not done from them per se. It might be that the narcissist has contacted you directly and have been charming, but you have not been so encouraging back. And maybe that you might have been nasty, maybe you might have been challenging. So the narcissist have thought, oh my gosh, this is going to take too much time, too much effort, which I'm not willing to put in. If I contact my exes, they are so much easier. Why am I going to put so much effort into this scenario when it's not giving me anything back? And of course, I'm not the one that's going to be valued here. No. It might be that you're contacting the narcissist so often and repeatedly. Not that it's a bad thing. Maybe you have children, maybe you have assets, maybe you have things that you need to talk to them about, but that's not giving them really time for them to miss you or you to miss them. And there is no opportunity for a hoover to try and regain that relationship. It means that you're giving supply of too much. They don't have to work so hard for it. And this is another reason why they might not be hoovering you and wanting to get back into the relationship. Another reason why a hoover might not happen is because you have placed yourself in a position whereby you are not able to be contacted at all. So you have completely gone no contact and they are not able to get hold of you. So you've put every wall up and they just simply can't. They might have realized that you are too strong. They might have realized that you have figured out who they are and it's too much of a necessity. It's too hard for them to be able to come back to you and try and reignite this relationship. But you've really got to ask yourself, if you are wanting this hoover to happen, what is it going to serve you in order to be in contact with the narcissist? They're not going to validate you. They're not going to give you closure. The reason why they would hoover is to serve them. It's to give them energy. It's to give them attention and validation. The thing is, as you can see from all of their exes, you know, these people are trapped in this cycle. They don't understand who they are and what they are doing. So that's why they're trapped in this cycle, being contacted as and when on the narcissist terms. Do you really want to be defined as part of that circle or part of that group? No, you're not. I would say that this is a really good thing that they haven't contacted you. They realize that you are strong of this challenging journey, then I would say keep going. It's not hard all the time, but it does get better. But you have to understand what is it that it's serving you to be in contact with a narcissist. So guys, I really hope that this video has helped you. For those of you who are still trying to understand why they didn't get hoovered, and I'm just going to put it out there, I never got hoovered either. And do you know what that says to me? It says to me that that person must have thought that I have figured them out. I'm quite strong and I kind of know my boundaries now, and I also blocked off all channels of them trying to get in contact with me. So I also was here trying to figure out why I didn't get hoovered. It doesn't happen in every case, but for me, I realized it's because I was strong and I understood why what had happened and why, and also the fact that I'm on YouTube and on the other social media platforms. So it wouldn't be a great idea for them to actually hoover me, because it probably would be really embarrassing for them. So that's going to cause narcissistic injury. So guys, if you are facing hoovering or not being hoovered, I talk about this more on my Patreon membership. All the details are down below if you would like to join. Also, if you have a question for me, I can answer it in a video format. Just check out the Visio link down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.